Tonight we have Romana Puiulet, a Romanian journalist with OCCRP, joining us via Skype to discuss a recent report she did on the destruction of forests in the Carpathian Mountains in both Ukraine and Romania. Thank you for joining us, Romana.
Hi, thank you.
My first question is, how did you get on the story? Describe how you first kind of found out about it and how you first started investigating it.
We have a lot of issues in Romania with the deforestation. There are a lot of illegal cuttings in our country, so I started digging into the subject and I saw which are the companies active in the area. So I got to one major company which has 5 factories in Romania, and it's an Austrian company. And then I dig further, and I saw I obtain all the contracts that they have, the transaction that they have both in Romania and Ukraine. So we follow the money basically, and we went to their suppliers in Romania and in Ukraine, and we disclosure the connections between illegal cuttings, their suppliers, and this company. It's a huge company acting now both in Romania and Ukraine.
And so this Austrian company, Schweighofer, can you describe exactly what the schemes are? Are they involved in local corruption, or are they just sort of buying wood that was illegally cut?
Of course, it's a matter of corruption. They are now investigated by our organized crime prosecutors. That means that it's an organized crime issue. That means that there are involved both authorities, cops, judges, companies, and basically they are working like this. They are not cutting wood by themselves. They are just buying from suppliers, from a lot of them. So we tracked down these suppliers and we went to the files that they have already on illegal cuttings, or some of them were involved in organized crime. They are gangsters. Here in Romania, they got convictions for other, for assault, for instance, or for a lot of other crimes, but for illegal cuttings also. So we try to show that it's a huge network that operates in the Carpathian Mountains.
And have you gotten any response from them? Go on.
Sorry. Yeah. We approached our colleagues from Ukraine, and we started to do the same thing there. Mm-hmm. And we realized that this company was expanding in Ukraine now. Even if you have a moratorium in place, a ban, but it was just before the ban and after. For a while, we watched it, how the story developed there. So they are just buying, and from Ukraine they are buying from state-owned companies, as we see in our documents that we have.
And since the moratorium, since the ban on export of many classes of wood from Ukraine went into effect, did you notice any change in behavior from Schweighofer, or is it all the same?
I know that they are still allowed to receive pine, and that the contracts that were in place were still rolling. So I think they are slightly affected now, but there are some other ways, and I don't know if Schweighofer is involved. I cannot name it because I didn't search now, but I know that they changed the schemes, so they are importing wood like firewood. So they are not saying anymore that it's timbers or raw wood. So they are saying that it's firewood, and they are still importing.
And what response, if any, did you get from the company after the video came out, and what other responses have you gotten from your report?
They admitted, in fact, that they have some problems. They said that they didn't know about their suppliers, that they were involved in some crimes, and they said that they were stopped buying wood from them. But now we see that they are building a factory in Ukraine, and probably they will try to move it somehow from Romania, because here are a lot of investigations ongoing upon them. They responded. They never denied anything that we actually said in our report.
And could you talk a little bit? I mean, in the video, there's an interesting bit where you go to Ukraine, and there are these Cossack activists who are sort of devoted to stopping this, or at least documenting it. I mean, can you describe who are they? Where did they come from, and why are they so invested in this?
They are activists and they called themselves Cossacks. And we work with Anna Babinets, and she check up on them. They're just some guys, some NGOs guys, we thought, that are going in the forest and try stopping illegal loggings, and they are recording everything that they are doing. And they were really important for us because it happened that they went right in the places that we knew that Schweighofer has contracts with, in the forestry, Lishop, I think it's in Ukrainian. So they went there and they record and they videotaped everything that they caught in the forestry. And we saw when they filmed that there are a lot of piles of green trees, and your law is forbidden to cut green trees, or in that moment it was forbidden. So they told us officially from the forestry department that they are only cutting dry trees. So we are able to show that in those footage, it were green piles and very good trees that were sending to Romania.
And I mean, what are the consequences of this ecologically and economically for people who live in the region?
There are big consequences. I don't know if we are conscious about the huge impact of this deforestation, because it's not a matter of, it's not an usual trade to make. It's not like you are trading oil or you are trading vegetables. We are trading our air, and we are playing with a lot of environmental impact, and we are not aware that the forestry is so important for us.
Okay, Romana, thank you for taking the time to talk with us.